He lied that I was pregnant to get $20K from his parents, then blamed me for a miscarriage when they found out the truth. Now he's screaming, "Please forgive me. They kicked me out and want $30K. But that's not even the worst part. I 28 female was dating this guy, Travis 32 male for a little over a year. We live in Bowling Green, Kentucky, met at a bar. I thought he was sweet. Country guy, family values, said all the right things. Always said ma'am and please, and had that fake humble gentleman thing going on. He worked odd jobs, mostly construction, and said he was trying to get on with a full-time crew. I figured he was just going through a rough patch. Happens, the whole time we were dating, he kept saying how tight money was, couldn't afford to go out much, always broke. I didn't really care. I'm not someone who expects fancy dates. I just liked spending time with him. We cooked at home, watched Netflix, the usual. I paid for stuff sometimes, groceries, gas, the electric bill when he was behind. But I thought that's what people in relationships did. Looking back, I was blind. I see that now. But I didn't see it then. 2 months ago, I got a call from his mom. I'd only met her twice before, and she was nice but kinda quiet. Very Christian, very proper. Her name's Carol. She never really called me, so I was surprised when my phone rang and it was her. She sounded weird. I could tell right away something was off. She said, "Hi, sweetie, how are you feeling today?" I was like, "Ooh, I'm fine." "How are you?" She paused. I wanted to check in. I know the first trimester can be hard. Travis said you've been sick." I just stood there holding the phone. I literally didn't know what she was talking about. I said, "What?" She said, "The pregnancy, I just wanted to see how you were holding up, emotionally, physically." I told her straight up, "I'm not pregnant." She went completely silent. Not like, "Oh, sorry, I must have misunderstood," kind of silent, like someone hit mute. She said, "What do you mean you're not pregnant?" I said, "I'm not pregnant. I've never been pregnant." And she said, real quiet, "He told us you were 2 months along." I didn't even know what to say. I told her again slowly that I had never been pregnant, never even told Travis I might be nothing. She didn't say another word, just hung up. About 20 minutes later, Travis started blowing up my phone. Text after text after text. "Don't talk to my mom. I'll explain. Just trust me, please. I love you." He didn't come over that night. He didn't answer my calls, just kept texting random crap that made no sense. The next morning, I woke up to 8 missed calls. 3 were from Carol, 2 were from a number I didn't know. One voicemail was from his dad, who I'd never even spoken to before. He just said, "You need to call me back." Immediately. Then the real messages started. His cousin messaged me on Facebook, calling me a lying whore. His sister said I was playing with people's emotions. His aunt, who I'd literally never met, commented on one of my Instagram pics. "You should be ashamed of yourself." I was so confused. I hadn't done anything, so I messaged his mom, told her I needed to talk to her. In person. She agreed. When I met her, she looked like she hadn't slept in days. Her hands were shaking. She had a folder in her purse with printouts, F-King printouts ***, of things Travis had sent them. Ultrasound appointment reminders. A fake email from a made-up obgyn. A F***King baby registry. All fake, all of it. He'd told them I was pregnant and we didn't have enough for hospital bills, baby stuff, and time off work. Said we'd talked about keeping it quiet until the 2nd trimester. Said I didn't want to tell anyone yet because of a past miscarriage. And they believed him. They gave him $20,000. His mom showed me the bank transfer confirmation. They wired it directly to his account. No questions, no hesitation, because they didn't want to stress me out with financial stuff. They even bought baby furniture and had it delivered to a storage unit in Nashville that Travis said we'd rented. When I tell you, I sat there in her living room completely frozen. I mean, I literally could not feel my own legs. I just kept saying, "I didn't know, I swear to God I didn't know." She believed me. I could see it on her face. But she was heartbroken, not just about the money, about the whole thing, about her son lying like that, about me being dragged into it. We both cried. She said, "I knew something was wrong, you didn't look pregnant, you weren't gaining weight, you didn't talk about it. I kept asking Travis, and he said you were having a hard time. That you were scared, that you had trauma." I left her house sick to my stomach. When I finally saw Travis again, because yes, I made him come talk to me face to face, I asked him why. Why the hell would he do that? He said, They never help me with money unless there's a reason. You don't get it. They only care about babies and God and appearances. They never helped me with S***T before. I figured if I said we were expecting, they'd finally stop being so judgmental. I asked, "So you just made it all up?" He shrugged. "They don't even miss that kind of money, and it was gonna help us. I bought the truck so I could work more hours. It was for us. Let me be real clear, it wasn't for us." I found out later he used the money to lease a brand new Silverado, went on weekend trips with other girls, and dropped hundreds on dinners and hotels while telling me he was stuck at work and broke as hell. He was taking bartenders and random chicks from dating apps to Gatlinburg and Chattanooga, while I was at home eating ramen and Venmoing him $40 for gas. When his parents found out the truth, because I told them, he panicked, tried to say I was lying, told them I'd had a miscarriage and I was too traumatized to speak about it. Then he said I had made the whole thing up and tricked him. He tried everything, played every angle, blamed everyone but himself, but I wasn't going down for this S***T. I had texts, call logs, proof I never saw a doctor, never had a single symptom, nothing. Carol believed me. His dad believed me. Eventually, the whole family saw what he really was. He got kicked out. His parents threatened to sue. His sister made a Facebook post calling him a disgusting liar who exploited a fake tragedy to scam his own family. Then he came crawling back to me. "Please, please just say it was a misunderstanding. Please tell them to stop. I can't sleep in my truck. I'll lose everything. Please." He had the nerve to say I ruined his life. So here he is, living out of his truck, crying in my texts, blowing up my phone day and night. I'm ignoring him, but I'm reading every word. Part of me wanted to block him, but a bigger part of me wanted to see him unravel. He kept texting stuff like, "IF***, "Get up, okay? I know that, but you're the only person who really knows me. You said you loved me, you meant it. Please don't turn your back on me now. They're making me pay all of it back. I don't have that kind of money. Please tell them it was your idea." Yeah, that last one, that one made my blood boil. After everything he did, he wanted me to lie again to save his ass. Like I hadn't already spent weeks defending myself from people who thought I faked a pregnancy for cash. I didn't respond. I didn't owe him anything. But that didn't stop him. A few days later, I come home from work and there's a note taped to my door. It said, "I'm sorry, I'll wait for you. We can get through this together. I'm still yours." The handwriting was shaky, like he was crying when he wrote it. I didn't sleep that night. I kept thinking about how he was still lurking around, watching, waiting. Like I was supposed to open the door and forgive him because he left a damn note. I told Carol. I said he came to my apartment. She went quiet and then said, "He's getting desperate." I said, "He's unstable." She didn't argue. Later that week, I go out to my car and guess what? All 4 tires slashed. Windshield cracked. I didn't see who did it, but I had a feeling. Called the cops. Filed a report. They couldn't prove anything. 3 days later, my work phone starts ringing off the hook. I do admin at a small family-owned clinic. Nothing fancy. But suddenly, I'm getting calls asking if I offer pregnancy tests for women who fake miscarriages. One guy called and asked if I sell baby parts. They were prank calls. Dozens of them, all within the same hour. Then I get a message request on Facebook from a burner account. No name, no picture, just one message. "This is what you get for lying." That's when I knew he was trying to flip the narrative. And it gets worse. That night I go out for groceries. Normal trip. I'm in the frozen food section grabbing a bag of chicken when I feel someone watching me. I turn around and it's his ex. I recognized her from his tagged pics. Blonde. Heavy eyeliner. Looks like someone who drinks vodka straight at 10 a.m. She walks right up to me and says, "You think you're better than me?" I blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" She steps closer. "Travis told me everything. Said you stole from his parents. Said you ruined his life." I started laughing. Not because it was funny, just because it was insane. I said, "He told you I stole $20,000 from his parents. You believe that?" She looked me up and down and said, "You don't look like someone who's got that kind of money." I said, "Exactly. He stole it, lied about a fake baby. I didn't even know about it." She called me a lying bitch and walked off. Just like that, in the middle of a Kroger. That's when it hit me, he wasn't just begging me for forgiveness. He was running a full-blown campaign behind my back. Playing victim. painting me as this manipulative psycho who faked a pregnancy, took his money, then blamed him when it all went south. And here's the worst part. Some people believed him. People I knew. Friends we had in common. One girl I went to high school with sent me this long-ass message about how, no matter what happened, I didn't need to ruin his life over a mistake. A mistake? No, a mistake is forgetting a birthday. Not scamming your own parents and making your girlfriend the scapegoat. I was furious, but also scared. Because Travis was unraveling and I didn't know what he'd do next. Then I get a call from his sister. She says, "You need to know something. He's saying you're pregnant again." I nearly dropped the phone. She said, "He told our grandparents you were pregnant again and that you won't talk to anyone because you're keeping it a secret after the miscarriage." They gave him another $5,000. I said, "Are you serious?" She said, "I didn't believe him. Not after everything. That's why I'm telling you." So now he was doubling down, still using me, still dragging my name around like roadkill, still milking his family with this fake baby story while I'm out here cleaning up the mess. That's when I decided I was done playing defense. So after his sister told me he pulled the same fake pregnancy lie again, for the second time, using my name, I completely lost it. He'd told his grandparents I was pregnant again. That we were trying to stay quiet this time, said it was high risk, said I wasn't emotionally ready to talk about it after the loss. And the worst part, they believed him. They wired him $5,000 to help him prepare. So now he was back to living in a cheap motel just outside of town, still acting like the victim, still cashing in. That same night, I drove to Carol's house and showed her the text his sister sent me, with the wire transfer info she'd gotten from their cousin. Carol just sat there on the porch staring at her hands. "I raised a monster," she said. "I knew he was selfish, but this is evil." Then she said something I didn't expect. She said, "You're not the first girl he's done this to." I said, "What do you mean?" She looked me in the eye. "When he was 22, there was another girl, said she was pregnant. He brought her to our house, told us they needed help. We gave them $1,200. Said it was for doctor visits." I said, "What happened?" She said, "She disappeared, stopped answering calls. He said she ran off, said she was crazy." We believed him. Then she said, "Now I'm wondering if she just found out who he really was." That messed with me, because if he'd done this before, then this wasn't just some mistake or desperate lie. This was a pattern. This was who he was. It also made me realize something. He was good at this. He knew how to play the long game, how to fake sincerity, how to cry on cue. He studied people, learned what worked, what to say, how to twist things just enough to sound believable. This wasn't sloppy or accidental. He'd been building this kind of manipulation for years. And now, even after getting exposed, he was still spinning stories, still scamming, still turning people against me behind the scenes. I thought about going to the police. But technically, I wasn't the victim of the money theft. His family was. And they weren't pushing for criminal charges yet, just civil stuff. They wanted to get their money back quietly. That's when I started digging. I went online, started searching his name, old phone numbers, addresses, anything. Took me hours, but I found a Facebook post from 4 years ago from a woman in Tennessee named Marissa. The post was private, but the comments were open, and they told a story. Apparently, she dated someone named Travis S. Same age, same face, who told her she was pregnant. Then he disappeared with her debit card. She never saw him again. I messaged her. She responded 2 days later. Her first message to me said, "Is he still doing that shit?" She told me everything. She said he waited until she missed a period, got her excited about being a mom, then used that moment to start borrowing money. First for vitamins, then for early baby clothes. Then he said he wanted to surprise her with a proposal but needed a little help with the ring. All in, he got about $4,300 from her, then vanished. I asked her if she ever pressed charges. She said no. She was too embarrassed. She just blocked him and tried to move on. But now that he was pulling the same stunt years later, with different women, with his own parents, she agreed to talk to Carol. I gave her Carol's number. The next day, Carol called me and said, "She told me everything. It's worse than I thought." I asked her what she meant. Carol said, "Travis has been using your name to create fake messages." "What messages?" She told me Travis had shown their grandparents a fake email, supposedly from me, thanking them for the support, saying how grateful I was for their kindness. and how I was so blessed to raise a child with Travis. He wrote it like I'd sent it. Used an email address with my first name and a bunch of numbers at the end. I'd never seen it, never made it, never wrote a damn word of it. He even forged my signature on a baby shower invite. A baby shower that never happened. That's when I really started to worry. Because now it wasn't just emotional manipulation, it was identity fraud. He was impersonating me, faking emails, faking conversations. And the only reason I found out is because his own mother finally started asking questions. So I printed everything out, all the fake emails, screenshots of his texts, messages from Marissa, the police report from the tire slashing. Everything. I brought it to a lawyer. He said I had enough to file a restraining order and possibly press charges for fraud, but it would depend on what I could prove he used my name for, and whether I could link it directly to the scam. It wasn't going to be easy, and Travis must have sensed I was getting serious because that night he showed up at my job. Unannounced. He walked right into the front lobby of the clinic while I was at the desk. Wearing the same dirty jeans and hoodie I'd last seen him in. Eyes sunken, face hollow, he said, "Can we talk?" I said, "No, you need to leave." He just stood there, staring at me. His lip trembled like he was about to cry. Then he said, "You're ruining everything." I laughed, out loud, right in his face. I said, "You did that, not me." That's when he leaned in real quiet and said, "You don't know who you're messing with." That changed everything. Because up until then, I thought he was just pathetic. A loser, a manipulator, but in that moment something shifted. There was hate in his voice, like he blamed me for the mess he made. I told the clinic manager. She called security. He left, but not before flipping over a chair in the lobby. I got the restraining order the next day, but that didn't stop him. Because 2 nights later, I woke up at 3:17 a.m. to the sound of my front window shattering. I woke up to glass everywhere. Not a loud crash, just that sharp, popping sound like something snapping. Then the cold air hit my face. My front window was shattered. Not cracked, not chipped, completely blown in. Glass all over my living room floor. My lamp knocked over. My couch sprinkled with shards like ice. I screamed and grabbed my phone and locked myself in the bathroom. The cops came. Took pictures, asked questions. I told them everything. About Travis. About the fake pregnancies. About the money. About the threats. About him showing up at my job. They wrote it all down. Said they'd keep an eye out. That's cop talk for we don't have enough yet. I stayed with a friend for a few nights. Slept on her couch. Jumped every time my phone buzzed. Every car that slowed outside made my chest tighten. Then something changed. Carol called me. Her voice was calm, too calm. She said, "I need you to come over, we need to talk, and I need you to bring everything you have." So I did. When I got there, her living room was full. His dad. His sister, 2 uncles, a family friend who was a CPA, and a man I didn't recognize. Carol introduced him. "This is a detective, he's a friend of our pastor." That was the moment I realized this wasn't just family business anymore. They had everything laid out on the table. Bank records, wire transfers, fake emails, screenshots, the baby registry, the forged messages. Even copies of texts Travis sent me that he'd also sent to other women, word for word, just changing names. They'd also found something else. Turns out when Travis leased that truck, he used his parents' info as a reference. Claimed they'd co-signed verbally. They hadn't. He'd also opened 2 credit cards using his mom's name. And remember the $5,000 from his grandparents? He took that money, drove straight to Nashville and tried to gamble it back. Lost almost all of it in one night. The detective said, "This isn't just lying, this is fraud." Multiple counts. That night they filed a police report. A real one, not a family threat, not a warning, a full report. 2 days later, Travis was arrested at the tire shop. I didn't see it happen, but his sister sent me a picture. Him in handcuffs, head down, hoodie pulled over his face, charges stacked up fast, wire fraud, identity theft, forgery, credit fraud, harassment, vandalism for my window. And because he crossed state lines with stolen money, it got federal attention. He tried to make a deal. He blamed me, said I knew about the pregnancy lie, said I played along, said I benefited. That's when karma really showed up. Because I had proof, texts begging me to lie, messages where he admitted making it up, the fake email accounts traced back to his phone. GPS records showing he was on dates while telling people I was on bed rest. The prosecutor didn't even blink. Then Marissa came forward officially. Then another woman. Then another. Turns out there were 4 of us over the years. Same lie, same script, same fake baby story, different towns, same man. The trial took months. I had to testify. That part almost broke me. He stared at me the whole time, like I was the traitor. When it was his turn to speak, he cried, said he was scared, said he loved me, said he never meant for it to go this far. I didn't cry. I was empty. The judge sentenced him to prison time. Not long, but enough. Federal time, plus restitution, every dollar with interest. Wages garnished for years. His parents cut him off completely, changed their will, sold the truck. Sold everything he'd touched. But here's the part people don't expect. I didn't walk away clean. The stress wrecked me. I lost my job because of all the court days. My anxiety got so bad I couldn't sleep without meds. I moved out of Bowling Green because every street reminded me of him. And I had to live with something else too. Guilt. Because I ignored red flags. Because I defended him early on. Because I let myself be used. That was my karma. But it didn't end there. A year later, I got a letter. From prison. It wasn't from him. It was from his mom. She said she'd started volunteering with women who'd been scammed and abused. Said she was trying to atone. Said she'd believed her son over too many people for too long. She ended the letter with, "You saved more people than you know." And then, months after that, I heard something that made me sit down. Travis got out early. Not freedom. Transfer? Another inmate recognized his name, recognized the scam. Word spread. Fake babies don't go over well inside. Last I heard, he keeps his head down, doesn't talk much, doesn't lie anymore. Because lies don't protect you in there. As for me, I started over. New town, new job, quiet life. Sometimes I still wake up thinking my phone is ringing. But most days I feel something I didn't feel for a long time. Peace. And if there's one thing I know now, it's this: the truth doesn't rush, but it always catches up.